This is Space Like Adventure, a Sounds Like Adventure actual play all about a ragtag group of misfits overcoming their corporate overlords in the Expanse. Hey there, it's another episode of Sounds Like Adventure. Hey, it's me, Jack. How you going? Thanks for joining us for the fourth episode of Season 3 of Sounds Like Adventure, aka Space Like Adventure, and I'm so excited to get into another one with you today. So today is the second last of our solo prequel episodes that are leading into our live stream campaign of the Expanse RPG. It all kicks off on July 25th, so we are racing towards that, but today's episode is no slouch. So last week you met Arlo's character. Flint was his name. He's an ex-Martian naval officer, and he got into some trouble in his first day on the bounty. And in today's episode, I'm going to introduce you to Derek's character. So Derek is Darth Derekis Gaming on Instagram. Check him out. But his character is named Trevor The Blacksmith Barnes. And believe it or not, he used to be a wrestling champion. But how did he end up on the ice hauler? Well, hey, let's find out. The arena is packed with people. Bright lights flash, illuminating the massive space. The vibe is tight with anticipation. The crowd waits with bated breath. The sound of an eagle splits the silence, and the crowd explodes. And words flash on the screen. It's hammer time. As rising from the floor on a hidden platform is the champion of the Galactic Wrestling Federation, Trevor The Blacksmith Barnes! Derek, why don't you introduce your character to us?
Hello, I'm going to be playing as Trevor the Blacksmith Barnes. He is weighing in at 6'7", 300 pounds. He's just this chiseled, godlike statue of a human peak athlete, bald, sporting a facial hair, which is his signature facial hair, which is the friendly mutton chops.
And as you rise from this platform up onto the stage, there's pyro, lasers going off, all kinds of things. What kind of pose is Trevor striking?
As he's rising up, you just see he's got like a blacksmith's apron on, like a full leather one, and he's just got like a hammer, just kind of like resting up on his shoulder as he's coming up, chest puffed out, just rising up with a hammer. Then he kind of, as he gets to the top, just lifts the hammer up.
Crowd explodes as you do it. They mimic the movement, raising their fists in place of the hammer. And around your waist is the glittering gold of the Galactic Wrestling Federation Championship belt. You hit the ring. How does Trevor make his way from the stage down the ramp to the ring?
He's the good guy. The crowd love him, so he's walking down with his hammer, puts it up, puts it back down. It's like he's got his hand out to the crowd, going one side, and goes to the other. Then as he gets to the ring, he's there. He just kind of looks at it, turns one way, and he kind of like turns the other, just nods, walks up to the stairs. There's a holder where he can put his hammer. So he kind of slides his hammer, then walks up the stairs over the top rope because he's a big lad. And then he just goes to the corner and just both hands up. Then he kind of like fists. Then he kind of like as he brings his hands down, he kind of like opens up his hands and he's kind of like points to everyone in the crowd, saying, "This is for you. This is you guys. It's hammer time."
So as you do this, the crowd roars their appreciation back to you, and you make your way around to the different sides of the ring, acknowledging the different areas of the arena, and they're all giving their appreciation back to you. And as this happens, our perspective slowly starts to shift from here to that of the HoloNet broadcast of this match, which is number 3 on the top 5 Trevor the Blacksmith Barnes matches video that you are currently watching. And our perspective continues to zoom out from that broadcast to that of the person watching it. They sit alone in their quarters on the ice hauler known as the Bounty, watching this match and thinking of better times. A lot of time has passed for Trevor the Blacksmith Barnes, and you know, Trevor, that everything changed after this match. So Derek, after all these years, Trevor sitting in this reflective state on the ice hauler, what does he look like now?
Now he's still big. He's no longer bald. He said his hair grew out. It's kind of like light brown hair, medium to short length. He just kind of like messily just like keeps it pushed back. He's still sporting the same signature like facial hair, but it's a lot like more unkempt. It's a bit bushier. It's not kind of like as pristine or as clipped as it was back in the day. And the big difference would be how he's kind of like he's semi-like let himself go over all the years after everything that's happened. He's no longer this chiseled perfection. He's like 315 pounds now, so he's put on a bit. So he's still muscular, but he's more kind of like dad bod muscular. He's kind of like a bit more barrel-chested, a bit more husky, let's say. He's more of a husky gentleman now.
So on the projection in front of you is this match that you're watching, and you know, while this is one of your best matches, you know, towards the end, you suffer a pretty bad injury in this match, and it all sort of led it to the end of your wrestling career. But in your hand is your hand terminal, and you're not really actually paying attention to the match at this point. You know, the entrance was great, you know, the rest that happened from there, so you just wanted to relive that entrance a little bit. But you're looking down at the hand terminal now, and there's a picture on it. So what's the picture that's on the terminal?
The picture he's looking at, this one here, would be his ex-wife and 2 kids. So Quinn, Reginald, and Persephone. So it's just a nice family photo at the beach. They were just having it was like the best holiday ever. Everything just went smoothly that weekend. And he's just kind of like reflecting on better times when he was there with his kids and family. And now he's just thinking, like, what do they look like?
So you sit there in this moment, all these thoughts sort of bouncing around your head, and you hear a small knock on the door.
Yeah? Who is it? Come in.
You hear like the keying of a button, and the door slides open, and standing behind it is a younger member of the crew, and you know her well. Her name is Emily, and she's sort of like holding her jumpsuit and twisting it a little bit. She's got messy brown hair tied back with a hair tie, and she's wearing the jumpsuit that most of the members of the crew wear. It's got the crystal clear logo on the left breast pocket. So she's still standing at the threshold, and she starts to speak, and she says, Trevor, sorry, I didn't mean to wake you.
I was awake. Come on, what, are you a vampire? And you have to be like, welcomed in. Come on, come in.
Yeah, yeah. She comes in and sort of like doesn't sit down, sort of stands around a little bit awkwardly. It's just like I like needed a little bit of advice. Like, would you come down to the galley and like we can have a drink and just have a chat?
100%. Let me just finish up. Oh, put away his hand terminal, get like one last look, and then he like tidies everything up.
And you've still got the projection playing?
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, 1 second. Turns around, turns it off, and goes.
And she's like, oh yeah, my dad watches the wrestling as well. You're a fan?
Yes. Big fan.
Yeah, cool. Well, yeah, let's go to the galley. So you step into the narrow corridor of the ice hauler, and the metal floors, you know, they're echoing as you're walking down, and you pass by other crew members. They're nodding their greeting at you, and the corridor opens up into the galley, which is a modest but welcoming space. And you get the smell of recycled air, faint hints of food. It's empty at this time, and the both of you find a quiet corner and sit down, and Emily starts to speak again. How do you do it, Trevor? Like, how do you stay out here away from everyone you know for so long? How do you do it?
Oh, the trick is, for me, I've got no one now. I'm rebuilding myself up. So for me, this is a platform to get me to where I want to be, where I used to be, like my dream, what I want to achieve. Going through this is what's going to get me back there.
But what about me? Like, there's people... No, I'm sorry to hear you don't have anyone. What happened to your people?
It's a long story. Downward spiral. Actually, when you know that wrestling I was watching back in my room?
Yeah.
That was me.
You were at the show? Was you?
No. I was the champion. I was the blacksmith.
What do you mean? You were the champion. What are you doing here?
It's bad decisions. I should have taken the high road, should have been more respectful about everything, but I decided to take my chances and be cocky and arrogant and not listen to people's advice. And everything just went downward spiral from there. I lost everything. So now I'm here to build it back up. Like, why are you here? Like, what's got you so down?
Well, you know, like, I grew up on Tycho Station, and like, I got to take a job. Like, any job's lucky to have, you know. Like, I just took this job, but like, I just miss everyone so much. Like, they're all back home, and I just miss them. And I just, like, what? How do you? I don't know how I can keep going.
You have to keep going. The best way to keep going is to think that you're gonna see them soon. You're not on this ship forever. We are gonna go back soon. I know you're strong, Emily. We've known each other for quite some time now. You are strong. You're gonna be able to get back there, see your friends and family again. But for the time being, we're your family. So think of us as your ice hauler family. And anything you need, you just come to me, you just come knock on my door, no matter what time it is.
So Emily sits in her chair for a time. She seems sort of like unsure what to say next, but she seems like a bit lighter, relieved in some way, just by the act of speaking, relaxing her. And she speaks again, and she says, Yeah, you're right, Trevor. It's not like I can get out of the ship, I guess. So I gotta make it back somehow. Look, I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if you're really the champion. But look, knowing you're here helps, so look, thanks for everything, alright?
Anytime, Emily.
She reaches her hand out and grabs yours and gives it a small squeeze and gives you a smile and gets up and leaves. And you're left in the galley alone. No one else has come in yet, and you're sort of lost in thought. So what's going through Trevor's mind in this moment?
Yeah, I'd probably say what Trevor's thinking about is just kind of like, he's probably thinking of Emily as like his daughter, and be kind of like, oh, one day she's gonna have like questions like this, she's gonna feel like this, but I don't know like what her interests are. Like, is she happy at this stage? Is she upset? Is she in trouble? Should I try contact? Should I like, would she even accept my calls at this stage?
So a voice disturbs you from your thoughts, and you hear, Well, the blacksmith's back. And standing in the door of the galley is the chief engineer of the Bounty, Savine. He stands there smirking at you, holding a mop. And he goes, It's funny, Trevor. These kids, they don't even know who you are.
It's true. Emily might know because I just told her, but
She ain't believe you. She ain't believe you.
I kind of like it that I'm a bit of an unknown in this ship. I'm just Trevor Barnes here. I'm not the champion. I'm not the blacksmith. Just Trevor Barnes. One day I'll be the blacksmith again. I'll don that wrestling gear and lift that hammer so high.
I like to see that day. You're quite a man, Trevor. I mean, you're out here on this ice holler with us, and I mean, you were the first man to win the Celestial Rumble 3 times in a row.
It was tough, but Texas Jack, he was no match for me. I got him at the end.
He's a wily one, wasn't he?
He was.
And you got to tell me, was the Gravity Gun Kid as much of an asshole as everyone said he was?
Sweetheart. He's a complete sweetheart.
His jaw drops. He looks shocked, and he laughs really hard. He leans on the mop. He takes a moment, he gets himself together, and he sort of mops his way into the galley. And he goes, "Say, Trevor, did I ever tell you why I always going on about this dang old map?"
No, I don't think so.
Well, it all comes back to what we're doing out here. The whole reason we're doing this run. You know why we get the ice from the rings, don't you?
No. Why are we getting ice?
Well, you know, water, that's a big part. You know, people need a drink. But you know, out here in the belt, in the stations, it's everything. See, I got a buddy, right? His name's Miller. Good guy. He reminds me of, you know, our friend Mo, you know, security officer, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Miller, he works out on Sirius Station, right? He works security, just like Mo. He's a cop. He told me once they had a case, right? It was a maintenance guy. They found him. Somebody put him in a recycler. Did some digging, they did. They found he was a bit behind. Hadn't serviced the air filters for a few months. Mold in the water tanks. You know what Miller and them boys did after they found that?
What'd they do?
They stopped looking. And the next guy who got the job, he kept the mold out of the tanks. See, the belt don't play around when it comes to this stuff. This is life in the belt. All of it. Every part. Food, water, air. It all comes from the ice that we pull out of these goddamn rings.
It's everything.
So to me, every job on this hauler is important. Every person. No matter if it's me or if it's just, you know, a young kid missing home. He sort of gives you a big smile at that. Because we're the ones who bring the life back to the belt. So that's why I'm always talking about this dang old map. Takes a pause for a moment, and he's like, seems to be thinking about something, and he goes, "You know what, Trevor? I think you might understand that better than anyone on this ship." Thinks for a little more, and he says, "Catch." And he throws the mop at you.
Catch it.
Okay, give me a dexterity test. Target number on this is an 11.
Oh, what do we get? What do we get? Oh, we've got a 9. Oh, Nashi. Yeah, got a 9.
What does it look like when Trevor drops the mop?
Oh, it's embarrassing. He's thinking like, oh, when I catch this, he's gonna like treat it like his hammer is gonna put it on his shoulder, then lift it up. So he comes in too fast, and he kind of like almost like punches the mop. I should probably goes flying back at Savine a bit.
Okay, I'm going to roll a dexterity test for Savine then. And he rolls an 8.
Oh.
Not beating the 11. So you bounce it off, throw it back to him. He's like, what the hell? It hits him. And he flicks it back at you. Okay, so let's go again. Give me another test.
Another dexterity. What do we got? Come on. 12. Now Trevor's kind of like, all right, catches it, kind of flicks it back on his shoulder and just kind of like slowly lifts it up, and it's kind of like smiles at Savine. He's kind of like, feels good.
And Savine goes, "It's hammer time." The Blacksmith's back. There you go. It's the second last episode of our little prequel series leading into our live stream, which launches on July 25th. Stick around to hear more about it. We're racing up to it. Next week, it's our last one, though. I'm really excited to introduce you to Kessa's character. Her name's Ataya, and in terms of machinations of the campaign, there is a lot happening here. This is one you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you don't miss that episode. Head over to the podcast app that you're listening to this on right now. Subscribe to or follow the show. And of course, as always, a 5-star review. Very much appreciated. But hey, with all that in mind, I'll catch you in the next episode of Sounds Like Adventure.